Let me regale you with the tale of my divine rampage in the world of GTA 5. Picture this. A vast virtual landscape teeming with life and chaos. Humans scurrying about, unaware of the imminent wrath that awaited them. As I descended upon Los Santos, the city trembled beneath my godly presence. I surveyed the sprawling metropolis, marveling at the intricate details crafted by mere mortals. But their feeble attempts at creating order were no match for my unrivaled power. With a mere flick of my divine fingers, chaos ensued. I summoned thunderstorms, lashed the streets with lightning bolts, and watched as buildings crumbled under the might of my wrath. The puny mortals ran for cover, but there was no escape from my vengeful gaze. I took pleasure in causing mayhem, disrupting the fragile balance of their so-called civilization. Police cars pursued me, their sirens blaring in futile attempts to apprehend a deity. But with a single gesture, I sent them flying, mere toys in the hands of a god. Helicopters swarmed the skies, their pilots desperately trying to contain the god of thunder. But their efforts were in vain. I summoned bolts of lightning that ripped through their metallic hulls, reducing them to nothing more than twisted wreckage. The very elements bent to my will. I conjured tornadoes that tore through the city, sweeping away everything in their path. Flames consumed the streets as I unleashed torrents of fire upon unsuspecting mortals. The chaos and destruction were intoxicating. As the city burned, I reveled in the chaos I had unleashed. Fear and panic gripped the hearts of the people, and their feeble attempts to resist only fueled my power. I was a force of nature, unstoppable and untamed. Let me recount the reasons behind my decision to unleash destruction upon the city and my disdain for the feeble mortals who inhabit it. Gather around, mortals, and listen to the words of a god. In the realms of Olympus, I stand as the ruler, the wielder of thunder and lightning, the embodiment of power. Yet, as I cast my gaze upon the mortal realm, I witness a pitiful existence, rife with weakness and insignificance. The mortals, so fragile and vulnerable, cling to their mundane lives, unaware of the grandeur and might that lies beyond their grasp. They scurry like ants, consumed by their petty desires and trivial concerns, never comprehending the vastness of the cosmos and the true potential of their own exist. Their cities rise like monuments to mediocrity, towering structures of human achievement that pale in comparison to the majesty of Olympus. They take pride in their feeble accomplishments, oblivious to the fact that their greatest achievements are mere trinkets in the eyes of a god. Their governments, corrupted by greed and ambition, exploit the masses, feeding them false promises of progress and prosperity. But I see through their charade. They are but pawns in a game they can never truly understand, manipulated by forces far beyond their comprehension. Their concept of justice is laughable, a pitiful attempt at maintaining order in a world doomed to chaos. They create laws and institutions, believing that they hold the key to morality and righteousness. Yet, their laws are nothing more than feeble attempts to restrain the primal instincts that reside within them. And so, in my infinite wisdom, I chose to shatter their illusions, to remind them of their insignificance in the grand tapestry of existence. I unleashed my wrath upon their cities, reducing their achievements to rubble, exposing the frailty of their civilization. As their buildings crumbled and their lives were upended, I reveled in their despair. Their cries for mercy fell on deaf ears, for in the face of a god, they are nothing but ants. I watched with amusement as their feeble attempts at resistance crumbled beneath my divine power. So, let my actions serve as a reminder, a humbling lesson for the mortals who dare to challenge the gods. Know your place, mortals, for in the grand scheme of things, you are but insignificant beings, fleeting and ephemeral. Bow before the might of Zeus, for I am the embodiment of power, and I shall forever look down upon your feeble existence with disdain. And then, amidst the chaos and the valiant struggle of the mortal rebellion, a new force emerged from the heavens. It was none other than Thor, the god of thunder, answering the desperate pleas for aid from the beleaguered mortals. With Mjolnir, his mighty hammer in hand, Thor descended upon the war-torn city like a tempest. His arrival brought renewed hope and a surge of power that shook the very foundations of the battleground. The rebels, battered and weary from their relentless fight against Zeus, stood in awe of Thor's majestic presence. With his thunderous voice and commanding presence, he rallied the remaining forces, his words carrying a weight that resonated deep within their souls. Shoulder to shoulder, the mortals and Thor forged an unbreakable alliance. Together, they strategized, combining their wits and strengths to devise a plan to take down the mighty Zeus and restore peace to their ravaged world. Default text: Thor's lightning-infused attacks clashed with Zeus' divine powers, creating a spectacle of light and thunder that illuminated the darkened skies. With each strike, Thor channeled the fury of storms, pushing back against the relentless onslaught of Zeus. As the battle raged on, the mortals found inspiration and newfound strength in Thor's unwavering resolve. They fought alongside him, their determination fueled by the belief that even gods could be brought down by the united forces of mortals. With every blow exchanged, Zeus grew increasingly enraged. The rebellion, bolstered by Thor's presence, proved to be a formidable foe. The tide began to turn as the combined might of mortals and gods slowly pushed back against Zeus' dominion. In a climactic final confrontation, Thor unleashed a devastating blow, striking Zeus with the full force of his godly power. The tyrannical deity staggered, his once impenetrable aura shattered. It was a defining moment, a turning point in the battle for freedom. And then, at the pinnacle of the conflict, Zeus was brought to his knees. The mighty ruler, once thought invincible, was defeated by the combined might of mortal rebels and the god of thunder himself. As the dust settled and the echoes of battle faded, a new era dawned. The mortals, free from the clutches of divine tyranny, began the arduous task of rebuilding their shattered world. Thor, having fulfilled his mission, bid farewell to the mortal realm, returning to Asgard with newfound respect for the indomitable spirit of humanity.